Okay, what I have is an i2 Corvette, and the other day I changed the spark plugs and spark plug wires. I didn't make a video of it. I should have. It's currently up on jack stand, so I'm making it now. I replaced the front air deflector down there because it was damaged. Normally, when I work on the car, I'll raise it up, the front and rear. I'll get it much higher than it is now, probably 4 or 5 inches higher. Remove the front tires so I can walk up to it, have a nice area. It's high, you don't have to bend over the car and hurt your back. Okay, to replace the plug wires, the plugs, what I did was this. If you're gonna use the same plug wires, grab the plug wires by the boot here, twist and pull straight off. Do not grab it here, do not pull it sideways, don't grab it by the wire, just pull them straight off while you're twisting. Sometimes it's easier, sometimes they come right out, but also inside there's metal. See the metal in there? You want to make sure all those connectors are in good shape, meaning mine have 2 half circles. One of mine was bent, and what it was doing is it was making contact here, but it really wasn't making great contact. So I replaced all the plug wires. So anyway, that's just what I did. Okay, so I removed all the plug wires on this side, passenger side. This is a 5/8 spark plug socket because there's rubber in there. It helps protect the spark plugs. When you put them out or put them in, I don't care about taking them out, but when you put them in, you don't want to damage the spark plugs. It works really well, just straight socket with a ratchet, works fine. On the ones back here, what I did is I used a little piece of PVC pipe, 3/4 inch, put it over the ratchet, and then that way it gives a little bit better, because it's kind of tight back here, it just gives you a little bit better like torque. It's like a mini breaker bar to help break them, because you know it's kind of it's tight, so kind of helps. To put them in, what I do is this. You got to use anti-seize. I'll put some on the spark plug. You don't need much, and just swirl it. Of course, I do it with my other hand. Swirl it, get it smooth around. If you get any up here, wipe it off with a paper towel, and you know. So that's what I do. The reason you have to use it, if you don't, you put them in dry. You know, 75, 100,000 miles later, you'll sit there and it could remove some of the head threads, and you don't want to do that. So it doesn't take much, but a little bit. Also torque, when you go to tighten them, it's only, should turn on the other lights, but the torque for the spark plugs on aluminum heads are 12 foot-pounds. So in other words, do not over tighten the plugs. Very important. Also on the plug wires, if you want, they make a gel specifically for plug wires. I'll take a little bit and I'll dip a screwdriver in and lightly, just lightly on the inside right here, just put a little bit. And what that does is when you go to push them on, I push them on, I turn them, push them in, and then when it stops, I'll push it straight in. These click once, and those down there, the new ones also clicked once. You'll feel it, you'll also hear it. So that's what I did on this side, and on the other side too. So on the other side is a little more tricky, but I've done this a few times, found easier shortcuts. Easiest way to do it is this: lift up on the molding around here, lift up on that molding, remove it to about here. Then what I do is, this is a 10mm socket, and you can remove these 2 bolts, totally remove them. These here, 1, 2, 3, loosen this panel that's right here. This panel will slide forward off of these bolts, and you can remove it, and that gives you can reach in. You have clear access to the number 1 and number 3 plug wires and plugs. So you can remove the boots, be careful again, check them, and then what I do, this is a spark plug socket 5/8 with a swivel and just a breaker bar, and not breaker bar, but an extension, and I put it on the spark plug, and you can get to it, these 2, from out here. Really simple. These back here, you can get to them using a straight socket. And I used one time, first time I did it, a little, what do you call it? God damn it. Yeah, little extension right here. There we go. Small extension right there. And if you don't have a solid long one, you can piece together several short ones to get it from out here. Anyway, these two back here, you can get to them from the top. Just be careful. A lot of stuff up here. You can remove this and other stuff, but I don't do that. What I did was you can go underneath the car if the car's high enough, and I got to these two from underneath the car. Putting them in is the same principle, and then just put it back together. Another little quick trick is if you look at the plug wire, look at the plug. The plug is not straight out. Okay, see it? Plug is not straight out. It's at a little bit of an angle and a little bit downward. So I use my hand. I'll reach down, start it by hand, screw it in as far as I can. Then what I'll do is I'll use a socket, put it on, and I'll turn it until I can't tighten it anymore. Then I'll use the ratchet and I'll get it snug and just a little bit more, and that's it, because 12 foot-pounds is not much. These right here, if you got to look at them. Number 2 spark plug is at an angle like this and a little bit down. This one is a little bit like this and an angle, and so forth. You'll see. Anyway, that's how I did it. It worked out really well, and I was not endorsing this brand of plug. This is an old one, of course, but that's all there is to it. Just don't over tighten it, and it's not that big a deal. It's really simple to do. All right, well, good luck to you.